Man, it is sunny out. Had to put some water in the pool. It's been pretty dry these last few weeks down here in Florida, so the pool keeps dropping in level there. But here we are. This is the Sony FX30 with the 11mm 1.8, and I've come to the conclusion this is my favorite combination here, using this camera with this lens. Gives me a nice wide angle, wide field of view. Even with the active stabilization on, I still can hold it, arm's length, and still see a lot of, it's not just a cropped in shot of my head. Not that I do a lot of talking head stuff on camera, but for those times that when I'm out with the kids, if I want to capture us walking or whatever we're doing, that's nice. And the wife's texting me. Okay. But yeah, so I've got the FX30, I've got the A7 IV for my photo work if I decide to do any photos, and then I've also got the ZV-1 for kind of a lightweight travel camera if I don't want to bring the FX30. But I took the FX30, not this particular FX30, because I sold my other FX30. Of course, landscapers are next door. That's great. So let's go over here. I had purchased an FX30 back right around November, and I took that one to Puerto Rico with the 11mm 1.8 and the 18-105. And overall, I performed pretty well. Some of the low light stuff I wasn't happy with, but I think that was more user error on my part, using that f4 lens in the low light situations and pushing the ISO. It just didn't work. So I ended up getting rid of the FX30 and bought an FX3, which was phenomenal, but I just couldn't justify the cost, or just having such an expensive camera for for travel videos and shooting videos of my kids. I couldn't justify it, so I ended up getting rid of the FX3 and just having the ZV-1 for a little while there. Took the ZV-1 on our last couple of trips there, and it worked out really well with the smaller gimbal. But I after just thinking about it, I just really, this FX30, I think for the price, for $1,800, the FX30 for $1,800 is really a phenomenal camera with all the features that it has for video, the internal fan for keeping it cool, because my A7 IV will overheat when I shoot 4K 60, especially down here in Florida on these hot sunny days. I mean, so I just can't trust it for that. So my neighbor's got some crazy stuff going on over there. I don't know what that is. Anyway, so for me, the FX30 would have made sense. And just, as much as I love full frame, the lenses are just, super expensive. I mean, I've got a 16-35 2.8. It's a great lens, but it's big, it's heavy. I don't want to carry that thing around. So the crop sensor lenses are just, more affordable. And Sony's come out with some new options, especially this 11mm 1.8. They've got the 15mm 1.4. They've got the new 10-20, I think, power zoom, which I don't think I'll be getting. I'm going to probably pick up another copy of the 18-105 f4. I really like that lens. I think the 18-105 f4, this 11mm lens, I think that's pretty much going to cover me for what I need on the FX30. For the most part, I typically just use this 11mm lens. Don't really need the zoom or the reach. But yeah, this is going to be my, this has become my favorite camera, more or less, I guess you can say. After trying everything from the Sony ZV-E10, then of course I bought the A7 IV, I bought a RX100 Mark VII, tried that out. I bought the FX30, I played with that for a little while, then I bought the FX3, played with that for a little while, then the ZV-1, and now we're back to the FX30, and I think this is going to be my go-to camera. And like right now, we're in pretty much auto exposure mode. I'm not worried about cinematic looking video or motion blur. Sure, there'll be times where I'll put the ND filter on there and set my shutter speed, but for the most part, just for convenience, probably won't do that. Just go with the auto exposure mode, auto aperture, auto shutter, and let the camera do its thing. I still overexpose by plus 1.7 and bring it back down in post with because I shoot in S-Log3, so I can, you know, overexpose and bring it back down, especially for low light. You know, the overexposure helps because it helps to hide that noise in the shadows when you overexpose, because this way you're not pushing the shadows back up, you're actually bringing them back down. So it works pretty good. And I just shot Isabel's lacrosse game and went into the evening. It got dark and we were shooting probably ISO 5,000, 8,000. It was up there, and I say the video looks good. I mean, yeah, I see a little bit of noise in the shadows or the darker areas, but for the most part, you know, it's perfectly acceptable, the video quality we got. So again, FX30, probably gonna be my main camera for quite some time here. I think I'll stick with this one, and this will be the camera I'm gonna use.